Okay. So today I think this is the last satsang. Tomorrow? No. Tomorrow we don't have anything. Okay. Okay. So it looks like the last satsang because there is a flow. So first of all, I need to say thank you to all of you. That we all enjoyed your company and we have been all together, and I hope we gathered something from the walk and also from the satsangs and also from the retreat. Today I want to talk about not what we know but what we don't know. It's very interesting. The entire scientific revolution in this world started with somebody saying, I don't know. If I say I know everything, there is no more movement, there is no more research, there is no more finding out. Because if I know everything, what do I have to figure out? Nothing. And there was a time when people said, you can also not go back and say, oh, in the olden days it was beautiful. Yeah, in the olden days it was beautiful. It was also, there were many diseases which couldn't be cured. There were also, of course, there were not so many people, but we can't always live on past heritage. We need to look now, at present. And the entire movement of understanding, of spiritual progress, of science, at one time, human beings, we, Homo sapiens, thought that this disease is because of that spirit, this disease is because of this god. And then somebody said, no, I don't think so, I don't know. So they said, let's find out. So what is the most important thing? I don't know. It is the same in the spiritual field. If I start my spiritual journey saying I know, then I don't know anything. I cannot proceed. Because what I know may be completely wrong. Maybe. I don't know. It may be completely wrong. I haven't figured it out. So if I say, okay, open and let me look. You know why? Well, I come from India. I was born in a certain setup. I went through a certain training with my teacher. So I think I know, but I may not know. If you think I know, then you are under an illusion. I don't know. People say, so why should we listen to this guy? Precisely to figure out that I don't know. It's true, I'm telling you. Because if we are looking for something which is infinite, suppose, if we are looking for something that cannot be caught in words, if we are looking at something which cannot be actually defined, then we are starting from I don't know. If I know, it cannot be what we are looking for. The moment I say I know, what is the meaning of knowledge? Let's discuss this. It's very simple. What is the meaning of knowledge? Okay, I don't have knowledge of this hat. First, when I start, I don't have. Then I say, let me learn about it. So I take a hat and then I learn about the hat. Okay. After learning about the hat, what is the process? I say, now I know about the hat. Well, all knowledge is like this. I know about the hat. When I say I know about the hat, what does it actually mean? It means I have understood it and then put it into my brain, in my memory, right? In my memory. And then when I want, I can pull it out and say, this is a hat. This is the meaning of saying I know this is a hat, which means I didn't know before, Then I came to know, because I tried to understand, and after understanding I have put it into my brain, in my memory, in one of the small little cupboards here. There are many, and then I have shut it. It is there, and when I want, I can pull that drawer and say, here is a hat. This is the meaning, right? Is there any knowledge which is not a memory? Anything. Scriptures, books, philosophy, hat. There's a beautiful book written by a great psychiatrist called Oliver Sacks. It's called A Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. The case histories. So when we say we know something, which means I remember it, I have understood it, now I remember. When I say remember, what does that mean? It is a memory, right? And I can take it out anytime I want and put it back. We are asking, if there is a reality which is always here and now, can it be a memory? Because memory is a thing of the past. You cannot have a present memory, can we? When I say memory, it is past. So when I say knowledge, it is past. So can there be knowledge of that which is? There cannot be. Therefore, when we try to understand this with our brain, which is conditioned, of course, and then suddenly it strikes me that all that I gather in my head is a memory. And if it is a memory, it is something in the past. And if it is something in the past, it cannot be the reality which is always present. It's my idea of reality. It's not the reality, it is my idea of reality. In the great Upanishad, which is called the Ishavasya Upanishad, this is also memory, okay? Ishavasya Upanishad. We can't live without memory, but we should understand that it is useless to find the truth. Anyway, so in the Ishavasya Upanishad, there is a statement which is very wonderful. It says, I don't want to use the Sanskrit, better keep it simple, not so complicated. It says, those who worship ignorance enter into darkness. Now that is understood. We say, oh yeah, I understand that. I am not an ignorant man, I am a knowledgeable man, so I am not entering into darkness. So the Upanishad says, those who worship ignorance enter into darkness. So we all say, yeah, right, we are not it. And then the next statement is like a bombshell. It says, and those who worship knowledge enter into greater darkness. You see this? So what does it mean? This is precisely what we discussed just now. That the Upanishad says that the truth is something which is far and yet so near. It moves, but it's faster than any movement. It's that which is and not that which was. So all the knowledge of the truth is was, and therefore it cannot be the truth. Which means, if it is a spiritual experience, some people say, oh, if it is full of happiness and bliss, then how do I know it's full of happiness? Because if I have some unhappiness, then I can measure it. So if it is always happiness, maybe I will get bored. What is this? I need some. The fact is, this is not something that is like that. It's something which is always there every minute. And every minute it is new. It cannot be old. The moment it is old, then it is a memory. What I have studied, what I have learned, can I break through that? And how do you break through it? By looking at it and seeing that it is so. There is no technique. There is no technique. Unfortunately, all the time we are either in the past or we are in the future. We are never in the present. In the mind and also in our actions. And therefore, if we learn to be in the present, you know how much we chant Om, 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 Om. When you walk along the stream, you see the noise of the stream going with the water flowing. That is the real Om. This is the artificial Om that I chant. Om. It sounds funny, like a cow mooing. But this is the real Om. This is the Pranava. The bells, the hills, the air, and what I see before my eyes. The moment I close my eyes, there are thoughts. So, what I am trying to say is when we begin to kind of understand or grasp this, not understand, then the mind becomes silent and quiet. It's not reaching out. Suppose the truth is everywhere. Suppose, theory, it's everywhere. So if it is everywhere, how do I go there? Suppose it is there. Suppose the truth is under the tree and I am here, then I have to go there. If it is everywhere, what do I do? How do I go there? Do I need to go there? I have to just understand that it is here and not to be reached. When all reaching stops, when all groping and grasping stops, then the mind is not only looking for beautiful girls, nor also not looking for the Brahman. It is stopped. It's quiet. Then perhaps there is something happening. Perhaps. And if you say, does it really happen? If I say so, it is my opinion, not yours. You have to find out for yourself. So when you begin to grasp this, then the mind becomes empty. And without emptiness and space, there is no place for the truth. So, whatever we have studied becomes of no use. You need to study how to cook food so that you can eat. That's a different matter, practical matter. But in this finding the truth, only when the mind has stopped all finding, grasping, crawling and settles down, then perhaps in that silence something happens. We cannot dictate. Okay, let me put it this way. So people ask, so why are you doing Kriya? Why are you doing all this sadhana? What is the use? Actually there is no use, but the breeze that blows, the breeze, can we dictate when the breeze is going to blow? Can any of us dictate? No. It can blow, it can come at any time, the breeze. Let's say that breeze, the wind is the truth. Suppose, image, we can't teach without an image. So, suppose we think that breeze, especially sweet breeze with jasmine flowers coming, perhaps it is there, it's blowing, but I don't feel it. Why? Because my windows are shut. Two ways. One is they are shut because I don't try to be free of prejudice. Big, thick layers of prejudice. Close my eyes and my ears and my heart. So when the wind blows, like the wind blows, and if the windows of your home is not open, you will not feel it. You cannot dictate when the wind blows. Impossible. But if you leave your windows open, then when it comes, it will come also inside your house. All the practices that you do are only opening the windows, nothing more than that. You cannot dictate the truth. You can't say, yes, it has to. If you can do that, then it is not the truth. So you can open the windows. So all the practices that we see are merely to open the windows and wait. Patience is important. You can't say the wind has to come now. It's not in our hands. Wait. Some people call that surrender. Please, not surrendering to a human being. Important. Because if you surrender to a human being, it's a dangerous thing to do, because soon you will be writing checkbooks. Surrender means to surrender to this understanding that beyond a certain point I am helpless. So I need to relax. I need to just let go and be patient, keep my windows open and wait. And in that waiting, something comes. May not come from outside, the breeze may be from inside. Right? Unfortunately, we are not able to do that because we are full of stuff. And you know, if you have seen the YouTube, I have repeated this story many times, that a professor goes to a Zen master and says, please give me Zen, Satori. And Zen master says, let's have a cup of tea. So the master prepares the tea, puts the cup on the table and pours the tea. He keeps on pouring, the cup becomes full and the tea is still flowing down because he's not stopped. After some time, the disciple puts his hands together and says, sir, the professor, he says, master, your cup is overflowing. So the master says, your cup is overflowing. How can I give you Zen? Because it's already full of so much stuff and rubbish that if you pour Zen into it, it will overflow. There is no space. Space is most important. Space where you can actually say, okay, I know I have some knowledge, but it is all in the past. What I am seeking has to be now, otherwise it is of no use to me. If this is there, then perhaps we can begin to understand the truth, which is so infinite that all our little petty descriptions cannot define it. I may say something, somebody may say, they all are definitions. It has no definitions. It's there in the grass, it's there in the sky, it's there in the clouds, it's there in you and me looking at each other wondering what is this guy saying. It's there everywhere. Yeah? This is what I wanted to say. Now, since I have said this, are there any questions on this? I am ready to face it. Be open. Yes.
So after you came down to the world from the Himalayas, you had many years before your master told you
To talk.
Your
Yeah.
spiritual teaching.
Yes, yes.
And how were you able to wait and keep your feet alive for so many years and wander around?
Two things. I figured out in 3 years of being with my teacher that he knew more about me than I knew myself. So I decided to follow what he said. And two, he told me you're not ready for it to teach. So I decided to hold on till something happened by which I feel, okay, now I can say something. Now all those years when I didn't open my mouth and speak, I used to go and attend a lot of satsangs, many other people's satsangs, without saying a word, without saying anything, because sometimes I found it very hollow and very stupid, because Master said, don't open your mouth, shut up. So I sat and listened and listened and listened. Then one day it was too much for me. I said, this is not okay, I have to talk. And I got some kind of a green signal to say, okay, do something. When I first told the Master, oh, I have such wonderful things from you, shall I go and share it with others? He said, what? You know nothing. What will you share? Don't mislead people. So I kept myself closed. And then when I couldn't bear it anymore, then I started. I was not expecting a crowd, a few people sitting together and talking. And gradually more people started coming. I can't help it. Now since you asked me that question, my master had asked me to write my experiences in the form of an autobiography. I hesitated for many years. 2 points. One is I thought it's too fantastic. Who's going to believe this? And second, I thought, really, am I up to writing a book like this? No. So I kept waiting, and finally I decided I can't carry this burden on my head anymore of all that has happened to me. I thought I may go crazy if I'm already crazy, but I thought I may go more crazy if I, because my master once told me that the world that we see today is a result of 1000 years of sanity. This is the world you see, so it's better to be insane. I took it very seriously. So don't believe a word I'm saying. I think I've gone bonkers. Anyway, so I thought, and then one day I said, let me write it off. I want to be free of this weight and this burden. So I wrote the autobiography. Till the autobiography came out, I used to be so happy. I used to sit in my little house in Madanapalli with a few people coming, and there was no guest house, there was nothing. People came, I cooked for them. I made coffee for them. There are a few people who know this. They have experienced, I cook well, okay? I'm not boasting. Indian food. So it was like that. Then came the autobiography. And then the circus started, the circus. Now I am in the middle of a circus. I don't know if I am leading the circus, if I am the clown, I don't know. But I am in the middle of the circus. So this is what happened. So warning to you, don't write a biography.
I'll remember.
So are there many masters, or is there one master? And is this one master me, or is this you? As
What?
in not you, but a third person, or is it?
See, ultimately, you are your own master. There is no other one. Yeah, a teacher can help you understand this point, that you are your own teacher. If you understand that, then you're free. If you keep calling me master, you're sunk. My job is to tell you that your teacher is in you. The principle of teaching is in all of us. We don't see it. So all we can go up to a certain point until you figure out here. Figure out there, then you're your own teacher. I don't believe anybody can give us illumination. We have to find it ourselves. If I'm hungry, who eats? I eat or you eat? I eat. In the same way, in this matter, if you're hungry, you have to eat your own food. I can take you to the food. You have to eat it. Okay. Since we are on the subject, let me tell you one more thing. It's more important to understand the teachings than to worship the teacher. In India, it's very common. Somebody is teaching Upanishad, Gita, has become a good teacher, so everybody is worshipping this guy. And he usually sits on a high throne and we are all crawling on the ground. This is not spiritual. This is not a dignity for human beings to do that. Okay? So, I know you're shocked, but it is true. Shocking is my job. So the teaching, what is being understood from the teacher is more important than the teacher. The teacher is a personality, please understand. He may have some idiosyncrasies. He is born, so he is definitely going to die. So then what happens? You worship a picture and say, oh, he's still there. It's in your mind. Anyway, so this being the last day, I thought I will break some images. I hope you don't mind. So, suppose I don't know the way. Suppose Hans is standing there and he knows the way. Somebody comes to him and says, hey, how do we go to wherever we are going? What's the place we go? Anyway, how are you go? You have to go this way, you have to climb a bridge, then you have to turn left, and you have to go straight. Right. So if I have to reach that place, should I go according to the path which he has described, walk myself? Or should I stay with him and garland him and do arati to him? You are the greatest teacher because you have shown me the way. How will I go there? I have to reach there, right? I have to walk. Do you understand what I am trying to say? So this worshipping the teacher is a dangerous thing to do, because you have to see what is being said and try to do it. Not just get stuck on the image. That image will grow old, it will have disease, it will die. This is normal. But the teaching is most important, not the teacher. Well, you should respect the teacher because he is telling you how to find, okay, fine. But don't take it to the limit of making the teacher more important than the teaching. Then we are stuck. I know Anastasia is brimming with questions now. No?
Not anymore.
No. Good. So I didn't read your mind. I'm wrong. So what did I say? So please understand what is being said. Don't give too much importance to this fellow sitting here. This is like you and me. I eat, I drink, I go to sleep, I go to the WC and I die. The sacred is much more around us and in our hearts. Remember this. That's all. Any more questions?
Yes, you said knowledge is from the past, and we are all either in the future or in the past, and never in the moment. When in our material, in our daily life, our job it is to build something new. So we have to build something for the future.
Yes.
Is it possible at all? Because or is this all assumption, or is this guessing? Is there a way? Is it an illusion? Is there a way to build something really new?
Okay. Now this is what I said. If you really think you want to build something, suppose, then first you have to start with not being satisfied with what you have. One. And second, to say that, oh, I don't know how to do this, so let me learn. 2 points are required. Now in daily life, in material life, it is of course possible to invent something and find out. We are not talking about a material thing or material life. We are thinking of the psychological part of ourselves. Is it possible to create something from the mind which is already finite? The mind is our mind generally. We can say it is infinite, but it is quite finite, right? If it is not finite, will it be caught by pain and pleasure? It's finite. So can this finite mind think about the infinity of future? That's what I'm asking. Not the physical, of course. If you have a job, but please remember, all new discoveries have come from space. When there is space, when one says, I don't know, let me figure out. Keep this in mind. It's also so in spiritual matters. And it is not as if now it is well known that intuition and thinking are not just linear. It's not like 1 + 1 is equal to 2. It's more like what in computer terms is called fuzzy logic. It's here, it's everywhere. You certainly should plan for that. Now we are going to plan to go there, right? We have nothing about that. We are not. That is a practical thing to do. Agreed. But can we extend it to that which is spiritual? This is what I want. Now, if there are no questions, then we can sit down for a minute quietly. Eyes closed or open.